Walmart story, the one you told me last week about.
Yeah, okay. We're going straight there, okay?
Yep.
Um, so I'm at Walmart with my daughter Amanda, and she's 30 years old, right? Grown woman, has her own apartment. She picks up this $38 scented candle from the home section, you know, at Walmart, right? And she looks at me dead serious and goes, Rob, the ambiance is an investment.
Ambiance is an investment.
Right at Walmart in the home goods aisle. And the worst part, I almost agreed with her because I didn't have a counter offer ready.
Oh yeah, because you've said something before, haven't you?
Right. I told my wife, a $220 stand mixer was an investment in family time. So yes, Armanda absolutely got that from me. That girl is my mirror, and I do like it or do not like it. It's a reflection that you have to look at and be honest with yourself.
Yeah, that's right. That's kind of funny though. She just handed your own words right back to you then, right? Say something.
Okay, I can hear you again. Okay, sorry.
Yep. Okay. Yep. Very good.
Sorry about that. Yeah, so she did hand my words to me, right, with a straight face. So like I said, she's 40. She should know better. We both should, right?
Yep. Definitely. Well, welcome back to the Parent Support Podcast, guys. I'm Curtis, your host.
And I'm RJ, your co-host. And today we're getting into something a lot of parents avoid talking about. How do you teach your kids about money when you're not exactly a poster child for good financial habits? And this was something I have a lot of experience with.
Right on, RJ. So, by the way, describes this does describe most of us. Nobody talks about this, but today we're going to. Let's go. So, the first big idea is this: you don't need a financial degree, you don't need a lessons plan. You just need one thing: transparency. Just talk to your kids about money.
And that sounds simple, right? But most parents, money feels like the third rail, right? We don't talk about it.
Yeah. Why do you think that is, RJ?
Honestly, I think it's shame, right? If you're struggling, the last thing you want is for your kids to know because you feel like you're failing them, right? Or they'll
Hmm.
worry, or
Yep.
it'll get out to the neighborhood somehow, right?
Yeah, that's right. But here's the thing. They already know something is going on. My daughter London, she's 11, and she's heard me on the phone once stressing about a bill. Later that night, she comes to me and asks, "Dad, are we poor or are we broke?"
Oh,
That's kind of
oh. So what
heartbreaking.
did you say to her?
I said, "We're not poor, but we're being really careful with our money right now." And that's actually a smart thing to do. She seemed to be relieved just knowing that what was going on and things were going to get better rather than just a mystery.
You're right, because kids will fill in the blanks with their imagination, right? And it's usually worse than reality.
Exactly. So just name it. There are these great example phrases. Things like we don't have $50 for groceries this week, or we have $50 for groceries this week. Help me figure out what we need most with that $50. You're not putting the burden on them, you're just including them.
Yeah. We did that with Josh and Armanda growing up, right? We do these
Yeah.
grocery math runs at Walmart where they
Uh-huh.
each had a budget and had to find items within that budget, right?
Yep.
Josh was super competitive about it, right? He'd come back like, look, I found cereal and saved 40 cents, right?
Nice. That's pretty cool, man. I like that.
Yeah. And now that man is 32, manages his own budget, manages, quite like a pro, right? He tracks
Yep.
every dollar. I genuinely believe those Walmart trips planted that seed.
That's huge. And what about Amanda? Same experience growing up?
Armanda was different.
Yep.
She was always the one who wanted the name brands, right? Even as a kid, she'd pick the Walmart brand up, check it, put it back down, and grab the
Oh,
name brand, right? She had opinions.
oh, interesting. And now that she's starting buying a $38 candle,
hmm Consistency, Curtis. She's been
yeah,
consistent her whole life. But here's the thing, she's also consistent about paying her bills on time,
yep,
keeping her savings growing. And she actually called me last year to tell me she paid off her car, right? So she
nice.
got there. She actually took the scenic route.
Oh, I love that. The scenic route. That's what most of us need, honestly.
Right. And I think the key was we were honest with them, right, when we made mistakes. I told them about the car I financed that really we really couldn't afford. We had to give
Yep.
it back, right? The
Oh, wow.
payments were killing us every month. I said, look, I made a dumb decision, and here's what I lost because of it.
Yeah, that takes a lot of guts, RJ.
It does, right? But Josh still brings it up to this day. He's 32, and he says, "Remember that time when we told you told me about the car?" He says, "That's why I always pay cash for things, right? Real talk.
Yep.
Beats a textbook every single
Yep. Okay. So here's a different method here. It's called the three jar
time."
method, RJ. You actually did this with Josh and Amanda when they were little, right?
We did, yeah, 3 jars. Spend, save,
Yep.
give. Every
Yeah.
time they got money, allowance, birthday cash, anything, they split it up, right? We did 50% spending,
Hmm.
40% saving, and then 10% to give.
And we're talking about physical jars, right? Not an app or a spreadsheet.
Yeah, they didn't have apps. We weren't really big on spreadsheets back then,
Yep.
but yeah, physical jars with labels, right?
Yep.
Put a piece of scotch tape on them. Write the name on them, because at
Yep.
that age, kids need to see it and touch it, right? Amanda used to sit at the kitchen table and line up her coins by size before she put them in, right?
Oh,
She was
interesting.
organizing a tiny bank.
That's pretty adorable. And also, clearly, she cared about money even then.
Oh, absolutely. And the important thing about the spend jar, and this is where parents messed up. You
Yep.
have to let them spend it on whatever they want, right?
Right.
Bite your tongue. It's hard, I know, but bite your tongue. It's their money.
Yeah, that is a hard choice sometimes because you want them to do something, but it's like, just let them do it. Let them make the
Yeah,
mistakes, right?
yeah.
London wanted to take her whole spending jar to Walmart and buy a big bag of those plastic little army men type things because
Hmm.
she saw something on YouTube or something. So she thought, oh, I'll spend all my money on this. So
Yeah.
anyway, she got it, and it cost like $3, but hey, that's fine.
Yeah. Classic, right?
Yep. And I'm standing there thinking, what? That's a waste of money. But I'll let her do it. And within 2 days, the army men were all over the floor. The dog got into them, and she came back. I mean, Dad, I think I made a bad choice, which is kind of cool.
That's the lesson right there, right? The sting of buyer's remorse.
Yep.
But when it's your money, is something no parent can teach, right? It just has to happen. The hardest part, the hardest lesson is losing our
Yep.
hard earned money that we paid for.
Yeah, it's $5, not 500. Better to learn now instead of later, right?
Right, right. And Josh had a similar thing happen, right? He spent his whole jar on candy from
Oh
Walmart,
my
like a
God.
full grocery bag worth of candy.
Ouch.
Got a stomach ache that same afternoon. Double lesson, financial and physical.
Yep. The ultimate regret. Okay, so what about the gift jar? Because I think people sleep on this one a lot of times.
Right. The gift jar changed my kids. I mean that. When Armanda was about 8, she declared her gift jar was going to buy school supplies for kids in her class
Hmm.
who didn't have them, right?
Well,
She picked that herself. I didn't suggest it.
well, that's pretty good. Pretty good idea there for sure.
Right. And now she's 30 and she volunteers on Thanksgivings, organizes a coat drive at her job.
Hmm.
She's just generous that way and that feels natural to her, right? Excuse me. I trace that back to a jar on a kitchen counter.
Wow, that's pretty cool. Just a jar, eh? So simple.
Mhm. And it's not just the jar, right? It's the
Yep.
habit that builds around it. The jar is just a container.
Yep. So I'm telling y'all, go out there, get 3 jars this weekend or today at Walmart or wherever you shop, and put like it's probably like $8 or something, and just label them and do your own thing and help your kids set this up today.
Absolutely. And as they get older, the jars become bank accounts, right?
Yep.
Same concept, just now it's digital, right?
Right.
Josh has 3 separate savings accounts to this day, one for spending,
Oh,
one for goals, and one donates regularly.
oh, that's pretty good. So the jar never left him. He just grew up with them.
Absolutely. Exactly.
Yep. So if you guys want a little tip here, it's 3 jar quick reference for you. So the spend jar is everyday wants. Let them choose. Let them feel the remorse. The saving jar is a for a specific goal. Write on the jar what it is, and then make it more visual. So if they want like a certain toy or something, put it. This is for a certain toy. And then the giver generously let them pick a cause. No overriding. So if they wanted to donate to whatever charity or cause, let them do that on their own, right? All right,
Hmm.
sounds good. Nice little recap there, RJ. So let's talk about the allowance debate, tied to chores or not.
Right. Strong opinion. You do
Yep,
both, but you separate them, right? Family
right.
chores, dishes, making your bed, cleaning up after yourself.
Yep,
That's just being a functioning member of the household.
right.
No pay. And I'll tell you, you know, Joshua, because he at an early age got this habit that he needs to get paid for things,
Yep,
it was hard to break him of this. Oh no, these are contributing to your household habit,
right.
right?
Yep,
So this is why setting that up is important. Those contributions don't get paid for. Then
right.
there's the extra jobs like washing the car, helping organize the garage, yard work. Those get paid, right? You're
Yep.
separating the difference.
Yeah, I like that framing. Citizens of a household versus paid contractors.
Right. And with Josh, like I said, when this is my favorite story, when he was about 12, he started
Yep,
washing our car for allowance money, right?
right on.
Got really good at it. Then one Saturday, he knocks up on the neighbor's door and offers to wash their car for $15,
Oh,
right?
nice. Wow, that's pretty cool. He just went out and got his own clients. That's pretty awesome.
Absolutely. That same day, he washed three cars for $45, right?
Wow,
Came home, dumped it on the kitchen table like he'd struck gold. How about that for a feeling?
that's a pretty good business. And that was when he was 12, right?
Yeah. And I didn't
Wow.
tell him to do it, right? He just connected the dots. Give a kid a skill and a financial framework, and they will find a way to use it. Josh is now 32, and he works he's a leader in the landscaping company.
Yep.
Started with a sponge and a bucket at Walmart.
Wow, I love that so much. Okay, so making savings fun because savings can feel like a punishment to kid. What actually worked?
Here's one: is the goal chart, right? You draw a thermometer on a paper,
Yep,
tape it to the fridge, and let them color it in.
yep,
And as the save jar fills up, right?
right on.
Armanda had one for a bike she wanted. Every
Yep,
week she'd color in another section. That bike took 3 months to save
yep,
for, and she treated it like it was made of gold when she got it, right? It was precious to her because she earned it.
yep. That's right. I think kids when they do something like that, it gives them more value to what they're buying, and it was
Right.
just wasn't handed to her, so it gives them that extra little, hey, this is mine, right?
Absolutely. And she rode that thing for like 6 years, right? Took better care of it than anything I or we ever bought for her, right?
Wow.
There's something about earning it yourself that makes you value it completely differently.
Oh, that's pretty cool. So let's talk about the parent match program. Talk talk about this because I think it's genius, and not enough parents do it.
Yeah. So you play banker, right?
Yep,
For every dollar you put in the save jar, you add 25 cents.
right.
You're
Cool.
matching their savings, and without them realizing it, you're teaching them how a here in Canada, the RRSP works, right? Your
Yep,
employer matches your contributions, right? Years before they'll ever see the RRSP or understand what that is, and then when they
yep.
get it, they're like, "Oh, I understand that concept."
Hmm. Yeah, so you teach them a little bit of financial uh, stewardship, right? Which I love that.
Yeah,
You can also pay interest. Like at the end of the month, look at the balance and give them a little extra bonus on it, right?
yeah, call it bonus money, right? Armanda would
Yeah,
ask every single month, "What's my bonus this month?" Right? She
awesome.
loved it. Had no idea she was learning about compound interest, but she just knew she saved money and made more money.
That's pretty cool, man. And that's the whole point, guys. You're not giving them a lecture, you're giving them an experience.
Now the waiting rule, right?
Yep,
Do not sleep on this one. Before any non-essential purchase, wait 48 hours. And some people
right.
call it the 48-hour rule, right?
Right on. Yep. Yeah, for sure, RJ. If you still want it after 2 days, you can buy it. If you don't, you've just saved yourself some money.
Right. Your mind will change, right? And Armanda
Yep.
changed her mind probably 60% of the time. She'd be
Oh, wow.
dying for something, at a local store or whatever. And two
Yep.
days later, it was completely forgotten about.
Yeah, because the wanting fades once you're outside the store. The marketing only works in the moment.
Mhm. And I will say, I've personally used the 48-hour rule on
Yeah.
myself multiple times, and it saved me thousands at this point, right? It works at
Oh, wow.
30, 40, 50. I hope it still works in my future. So
Yeah, I'm sure it
keep it
will.
going, right?
Yep. Well, we're just all grown up kids, right? And the lessons we learn when we're kids are still the same lessons as adults, but we can always adapt,
Absolutely.
right?
Yeah.
So let's get into the part that I know everybody driving right now needs to hear, because everything we've talked about is practical and great. But here is a parent. There is a parent listening who's in debt, barely making it work, and thinking, "How am I supposed to teach my kids about this stuff when I can't figure it out myself?"
Right. And I want to speak to that person directly because I was that person.
So tell us about that, RJ.
Look, when Armanda and Joshua, and this is why we take that jars and teaching and spending so important,
Uh-huh.
because when they were young, we were in real financial trouble, right? Both
Yep.
working, still falling behind in every month, credit card debt, a car underwater, no real savings. And I felt like such a fraud even thinking and talking to them about money.
So how do you get out of that headspace then?
Josh actually did it for me, right? When he was
Oh,
younger,
really?
he came home from school. They'd been learning about savings account. He looks
Yep.
at me and says, "Do you have a savings account?" Just like that, right?
Oh, oh no. Oh my gosh.
And then I had no choice. Look, it was either lie, change
Yep.
the subject, or tell the truth. And I said, "No, not right now, but we're gonna start one together." And we did. That's the moment that changed everything, right?
Right on.
We opened savings account with $11. That's all we had.
Oh wow, just $11, eh? Huh.
Yep. Every week Josh would ask how much was in it. He became my accountability partner, but I was not going to tell, them at 10 years old, we spent the savings on takeout, right? He kept me honest.
Wow, that's pretty interesting that kids can do that, eh? That's a pretty powerful flip for a kid to help their parents out, right? So the kids became the
Hmm.
motivator.
Right. Use that, right? Parents,
Yep.
use that. Let your kid track the family savings goal. Put it
Yep.
on the fridge. They will hold you to it in the best possible way.
Yeah, I think the fridge is the best place to put all your goals and stuff because everybody sees it every day, right? Especially when you're
Right.
like hungry 11-year old, they're laying in the fridge like 20 million times. Open the fridge every 5 minutes, it seems like.
Yep.
I'm still hungry. I'm still hungry. But you know what? It teaches them that growth is possible, even from almost nothing.
Right. And like I said, Josh is 32 now, right? He knows we
Yep.
started from $11. He's proud of where we got to. Armanda,
Yep.
she knows about our struggles too. She told me that knowing we went from hard times and kept going is part of why she's not afraid of a setback, right? Because she saw us bounce back from such a struggle.
Yep. That is the real inheritance. No money, not the money, but just the mindset has changed them and their lives are better from that, right?
Exactly, right? You don't have to be a financial expert to teach your kids
Yep.
about money. You just have to be willing to grow. And if, again, we taught you ways that you can grow along with them, right?
Yep.
So here, and to the parents who say, "I'm learning too," is modeling something that no finance class can teach, right? Humility and
Yep.
resilience.
That's right. So, okay. So let's do some rapid fire here. Someone is in a tough spot. What are your first 5 steps right now to do?
Oh, look, one, track your spending for
Yep.
1 month as a family, right? Write it down, no judgment.
Yep.
Two, set one shared savings goal.
Yep.
Small, pizza night, a movie trip, a trip to Walmart for a treat,
Hmm.
something the whole family is moving towards.
Right. So, three, you can have a weekly money minute at dinner or 1 minute somewhere. Someone says how we did this week. So, just as long as everybody's tracking
Mhm.
it, you can say, hey, we did this. This is what we're like reporting in, right?
Exactly. And four, admit a money mistake out loud to your kids. Look, hey, I bought something I shouldn't have, right? And look, I wish I hadn't, but it's done. This sentence is worth more than any lesson plan.
Right on. And number five, celebrate every win, guys. Saving 20 bucks, woohoo, awesome. That deserves a money moment acknowledgement. Let your kids see how happy you are about saving, not just stressed about spending. So
Mhm.
you want to do a
So
quick
Curtis,
recap,
just
RJ?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, go
recap.
ahead.
You want me to recap, RJ or
Yeah, yeah,
Curtis?
go ahead. Yeah, yeah,
So
you do it.
here's the thing. That these 5 steps. One, track your spending for
Yep.
1 month as a family, no judgment. Number two, set one small shared savings goal together. Number three, weekly money minute at dinner. Talk about your
Uh-huh.
money. Number four, admit one money mistake out loud to your kids. And
Yep.
number five, celebrate every win, no matter the size.
Excellent. Thanks, RJ, for that. Okay, so wrap it around age by age because I want people to walk away with something concrete for whatever their kid is right now. So, RJ, I throw the age group. You give me the one thing you're ready for.
Okay, sure, let's do it.
All right. So, ages 3 to 5.
The Play Store, right?
Yep.
Setting it up in the living room, price tags on stuff, toy food, books, whatever's around. Let them
Yep.
use pretend coins to buy things. And while
Uh-huh.
you do it, introduce the words need and want, right?
Right.
That's it. That's the whole curriculum at that age. We actually used a Walmart receipt once as the menu for the store, and Josh thought it was the coolest thing.
Oh, right on. That is pretty cool. Let's go from age 6 to age 9.
That's when you start that three-jar system, right?
Right.
Grab a pack of mason jars, label them, spend, save, and give. Give a
Yep.
small allowance, $2 or $3 a week, based on what they do as those extra chores, right?
Right.
It's not about the amount, it's about the habit. And then step
Right.
back and let them make their own spending mistakes. Do not rescue them from buyer's remorse.
Cool. And then what about 10 to 12?
It's goal chart time, right? It's time to
Yep.
get that thermometer up on the fridge. Your kids
Hmm.
is ready for real savings goals, right? Start the parent match program. You add
Yep.
25 cents for every dollar they save. This
Right on.
age group responds incredibly well to visible progress, right?
Right.
Also, this is the age I started taking Josh to Walmart with a set budget, letting him manage the whole grocery run, right? $25. Here you go.
Go pick your stuff. That's pretty good. Then that's a field trip and a financial class at the same time, right?
Right. And he still talks about it, right? So in 13 to 16, what do you do?
Yep. Okay, so let's that's mine. 13 to 16, open a real bank account, not a pretend one. A real savings account. Consider a debit card with a limit and start having honest conversations about what happens when you overspend. Credit cards, interest, overdraft fees, that stuff, right? It's all what we do in the real world and do it in a safe spot so the kids can understand it so they don't get themselves in trouble in the future, right?
Yeah, and then start taking them to the grocery store, right?
Yep.
And let them compare prices, right? Generic versus name brand. Teach them that
Hmm.
value and price are two different things.
Yep, that's right. That's also a very good one. Okay, let's go for 17 and up.
It's time for the full picture, right?
Hmm.
Budget together. Talk about their first job, their first paycheck, how taxes work. Talk
Yeah.
about the 401k or the RRSP and why
Yep.
this the employer match. We talked about, giving them the bonus, why it's
Hmm.
in basically free money, right?
Yep.
And if they're going
Yep.
to college, honest about student loans before they sign anything. And if you have debt, show them. Let the lesson be real. Josh knew exactly what we owed when he was 17, and he made
Oh
his
wow.
college choices partly based on what he'd seen us go through,
Wow, that's remarkable. He used your experience to make a smarter decision that you might have not made.
right? And that's the whole point, right? We learn so that they don't have to learn the hard way.
Right. Good. All right. So a quick update. Where are Josh and Amanda now financially? Because I think people need to hear this.
Yeah, look, Joshua has money in the bank. He's saving for his own business or for his own
Yep.
home, right? Cash, he wants it to be cash, right? So he's working hard for that. Armanda
Yep.
paid off her car last year, has a solid emergency fund, still buys the occasional overpriced candle, but now she budgets for it, right? She calls it her joy fund.
Awesome. That's pretty good. I love it. A joy fund. That's pretty good. That's not a money problem. That's a money plan.
Right, exactly, right? They're not perfect, but they're intentional, and that's all I ever
Yep.
wanted. To
Perfect.
raise responsible adults.
Awesome, RJ. All right. So we're coming up upon the time to finish up and let's close out. One thing for the parent who feels like they're too far behind or too unqualified to have this conversation with their kids. What do you say?
Start now. It doesn't matter
Yep.
how far behind you are, right? You're more
Yep.
qualified than you think because you lived it, right? You
Yep.
felt the stress of a bill you couldn't pay. Look, we talk about smokers. There's no one better qualified to tell you not to smoke than a former
Yep.
smoker. They've been
Yeah, for
through it,
sure.
right? So same thing with the money plan. You know what buyer's remorse feels like at 4 o'clock in the morning. You
Yeah.
know what it's like to want more for your family. That
Hmm.
story, your real messy in progress story, is the most
Yep.
valuable thing you can share. Your kid doesn't even need a perfect parent, they need an honest one.
Yep. That's right. That's the one. That's the quote. I want it. I want that on a poster.
Hmm. Put it on a Walmart poster frame, right? $5 in the home section.
Yeah, that's pretty funny, man. Always practical. Always everybody. So so today's the episode. If this episode today has hit home for you, share it with a parent who needs it. Let us review it. Send it to your group chat.
Yeah, and if you want to be in a room with parents who are figuring this out together, no judgment, no
Yep.
perfection. Come join the Parent Support Circle. The link will be in the bio. It's free, it's warm, and it's full of people just like you who are showing up and trying.
Awesome. Okay, guys, if you're watching on YouTube, please like, subscribe, and ring the bell so we know when we go live. You can be notified. If you're on Facebook, leave a comment. Say thanks for watching. And if you guys do want to share this, please do so. We'd love to have more people come on because you don't have to do this alone. You never did. I'm Curtis,
And I'm RJ,
and this is the Parent Support Circle
Support Circle.
podcast. We'll see you next week, guys. Thank you.
Yep. See you around.
Bye.